Bang! Neevesknives. I'm Jared. My lovely wife, Kara, might be joining us on the second half. I'm not sure yet, but we'll see how it goes. How's everybody doing tonight? I see you guys get a little crazy in the comment section before it actually goes live. And Fiend, I did try that in all honesty, and it actually works better than you think. Better than you think, bud. For real. Because like unlike a razor, I mean, I guess there's like that man shade thing or whatever, but that unlike a razor that gets clogged up, a straight razor does not. Bang! Trivia question. Seems logical. Says, hello, Fiend. I've got a trivia question for you, somewhat related to knives this time. I'm actually curious myself. The Shirogorov Lotto. Watch the balls. Yeah, I wouldn't put it there, but you know, the top portion, what's also known as the root. But no, I wouldn't do that. That's a little insane. Um, I did, however, oh wait, did you guys see Medford's thing he's doing? He's doing this thing, if you guys haven't seen it, where he's having, I don't know where you load this, man, my face is so, there it goes. Where you load these skits. I'm not sure where you put them. I'm guessing you tag them on Instagram somewhere, but I'm not sure. Anyways, the point is that you make these skits and he's going to let it go for a couple months, and whoever does like the best skits, basically, like funny stuff and blah blah blah, he's going to fly to where they're at in their shop, give them a hotel, food, all, you know, room board basically, and let you work in his shop for 1 week, get some free labor out of your ass, but teach you how to make a knife and let you make your own knife there at his shop. And that sounds bad to me. That sounds badass. I mean, I love labor work, so like I don't mind doing that stuff, and I've always worked in a shop, so like it would just be natural to me. So I actually thought about doing it. So I'm thinking about doing some skits and loading them. I'm not sure where you got to put them up at though, or where you put them for him to see them. I'm guessing on Instagram, but I don't know yet. Anyways, they're supposed to give some more details, but it sounds awesome to me. Wallaby's out of here. Sorry, can't stay tonight. I've lost a lot of sleep. Get some sleep, bud. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for stopping in. So I've had like you know, questions that I've been asked and like, you know, said I should talk about and stuff like that. And multiple times. So like the getting clean thing that you guys seen in the title, that's going to be after the first hour. So the first hour we'll talk knives, second hour we'll talk stuff like that. Um, and you know, just like a bunch of questions that people have asked me to talk about and asked me questions about, and you know, said I should talk about it like in the live or whatever. And you know, after a few times of being asked, you might as well. So I'm going to, after, like I said, after the first hour. But the first hour we'll talk about whatever you guys want, and then I got a few things that I wanted to talk about, like with knives and stuff. Thanks for understanding. Everyone's definitely will stay full time. Yeah, no problem, Wallaby, man. Get some sleep. Get some sleep. We aren't psychiatrists. I don't know what that means, Ed. I don't know what that means. I definitely don't need a psychiatrist. Um, I've already had my fair share. No, but I do actually like I get into that stuff. Like meaning like I love how do you say it? Like psychology and stuff like that, the way the mind works, the way the brain works, the reason why people or anybody do things that they do. That's why I got into dog training actually. And went to school for it, was because understanding like why animals do the things that they do and how to speak to them and communicate with them in their own language. And when you actually learn, it's pretty fascinating. Ed, nobody asked for your opinion. A lot of people struggle with their own demons, and I'm giving Jared credit. Thanks, bud. I appreciate that. Um, yeah, regardless of what anybody says, I don't give a shit. Past like when I'm past my demons, like pretty much. So like I don't mind talking about them. But no, like psychology wise, like I help people. Like that's what I do for people. I do it every week for 3 to 4 hours. I help people that are struggling with all different types of reasons and things. Um, through a center. It's through a live stream like we're doing right now. Because a lot of people have demons and problems and issues, and just help them realize why, and what's going on in their life, and blah blah blah. And I don't I enjoy it, because I get to help people, and you know I don't know, I know I'm not saying like that they get much from it, but at least I hope they do. I know they act like they do, but a lot of people sometimes they just need to talk, or they don't realize why they're doing things that they're doing, and sometimes other people that have been through it before actually understand. And it's not easy sometimes for like when I'm there and I hear like counselors that have no idea what, like they know the psychological part to an extent, but then they don't. Like I hear them saying some things and I think in my head, like, man, don't say that. Like it doesn't even make sense to that person. That person can't even grasp that right now, like what you're trying to say to them. And it's why it's a little easier for me to talk to them because I know where they're at, like mentally. I am 17 years clean, April 12th. That's amazing, man. Good for you. Good for you. That's amazing. It's brain chemistry you sometimes have no control over. Absolutely. There's like different chemicals in the brain too that sometimes, like depending on what you're doing or situations, that it's like chemicals in the brain that go off or stop. And sometimes that's why people continue to do something, is because it's giving them that dopamine or whatever that they can't produce anymore. um so um Micarta care, I was thinking about talking about some Micarta care on knives, Micarta. Everybody used to tease me because I used to say Micarta, Micarta. Like this one dude, he left me a comment talking shit. If I hear you say Micarta one more damn time, it's Micarta. Um, I think that's hilarious. And then buying on eBay. I always get asked that, like about where to find two sons, how to work eBay and how to bid on it. So we'll talk about that for a second. And knife trading 101, how to trade with people, how to contact people, like how to kind of do it without getting screwed over. Um, Thought about talking about starting a YouTube channel. I've been asked that a million times. Then I had like some other stories I was going to talk about, like just like bullshit. But first we're going to start off with 14C28N versus 154CM. Which one do I like better? Which one do I prefer, and why? And regardless, everybody's going to have their own preference, and I think a lot of people actually pick 154 CM over 14C28N. And I would understand why they would. Jared, have you ever used Knife Swap? No, I have not. I've swapped a lot of knives trading, but I've never used Knife Swap. Um, but most people will probably pick 154 CM. I think because possibly because more custom makers use it, and it's another steel that's easy for companies to heat treat. But me personally, I pick 14C28 on over 154 CM. And the reason why, for me personally, I think that, and I know like if you look at it on paper, I think 154 CM possibly outperforms 14C28M by the tiniest margin. And it's such a small margin that I've never seen it, in use. To me personally, I feel like 14C usually outperforms 154. Maybe not. I don't know. Like I said, it's such a small margin that I don't feel it or see it. But one thing I do notice is that for sharpening, I noticed that 154 cm does not take as good of an edge as 14C28N. Now it does at a low grit. Like if I wanted to do 4, 6, 800 grit, then yes. But once I get over 1,000 grit, 154 cm falls off, like especially CPM 154. CPM 154 polishes up so good, too good, that it doesn't do good. Meaning like it polishes up really good and looks like the way it looks great, but the way it performs is bad because it's like too polished. There's no teeth left. There's no bite left. And I'm speaking only on my own experience. So if you've had a different experience, cool. But 14C28N always seems like there are times where possibly it's on the lower level of HRC, and I don't get, like, if I did do a full blown mirror polish, it'll lose bite um a little bit. But for the most part, usually I can get a pretty good mirror on it at the very least, uh uh you know like close to a full mirror. But with 154 cm, I don't at all. Like it has to be at a toothy level, otherwise it just doesn't do good for me. So that's one reason. Hang on, let me turn. I'm gonna have to turn down the volume. I'm trying to pull this up really quick, so you guys might hear some noise for 1 second while I pull this up. Might hear. Okay. So, but that's one reason why I choose it more. Second reason um is, well, you can, I don't know, maybe you can't get it for a better price anymore because now it seems like they're both right around the same price. But to me, I just like the way it performs. I love the way it sharpens. I I like that it was made for pocket knives or for knives. I think it was actually made originally for razors, which is knives. I'm not sure what 154 cm was made for. Hmm, somebody should look that up. I can't look it up right now, but what 154 cm was made for. To be honest, I can't tell the difference between 440 CVG10, 154 CM 9CR, or 14 C28N. A lot of people can't. A lot of people really can't. But where you can tell the difference from is in sharpening. Like if you sharpen it, like after and it does take a while. Don't get me wrong. When I first started sharpening, I honestly couldn't tell the difference between S30V and S90V. I really couldn't. Now I can completely tell the difference. Just like, what do you guys think is which do you guys prefer? S30V or S35VN? Because some arguments would say S35VN is better than S30V. That's why they came out with S35VN. It's just a better, it's stronger, blah, blah, blah. Me personally, I don't think so. I like S30V a little bit better for the same reason of the 14C and 154 CM. And I'm not saying I love a polished edge all the time. I'm not saying that because I like a toothy edge more than any other edge. My favorite edge is a 600 grit edge. But there's times when you want to put a nice mirror polished edge, or somebody requests it, and I want to sharpen it for them and I want to give them what they want, and what I want really is for them to get it back and be like, holy shit, this thing's sharp. I don't want to give it to them and be like, yeah, it looks good, but damn it, it ain't sharp, because it's polished and it doesn't do good with the polish. Well, S35VN doesn't, but S30V does. And to me, S30V, and I think this is known too, that S30V has a little bit better edge retention than S35VN. S30V and S35VN are probably the closest steels. No, they're very close, but one is supposed to be a little stronger, tougher. I think the S35 is supposed to be like, I think people were complaining about it being chippy and this and that. Hey, thanks, Marvin. Cool. Thank you, bud. I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. Um, so it was made to be tougher or stronger because they were people were saying that S30V was chippy and this and that. I don't know, maybe a long time ago it was, and that was kind of their way of like getting away from that. But I personally would way rather sharpen S30V. I think it gets a lot better edge. I think it holds a better edge. This just me, Mr. C. Thanks, bud. That's awesome, man. Thank you guys. You guys are amazing, man. Thank you. And I know there's that thing with chipping, same it chips. I don't think that that's really a problem when it's sharpened right. I think that chippiness comes from burnt edges and it not being properly sharpened. Now, I'm not saying that you get it, you sharpen it, and it's not still doing it. I'm saying, yes, it probably is still doing it. I'm saying you probably have to sharpen it 4 or 5 times, 3, 4 times, depending on how it was sharpened from the factory until that goes away. Because like even like with Outpost 76's testings, like he's had that where he's got to sharpen it a few times to get it to really start performing the way it's supposed to. And I've had S30V from certain companies, like Benchmade. I got it. I've had it happen where it was really chippy. And then after sharpening a couple times, it wasn't like that. It just wasn't. And I've had it from other companies too. Um, and the best I've had from S30V is probably from Spyderco. I I've heard people say the Spyderco, they've had problems with Spyderco's heat treat. I've always had good things personally for me. I haven't I also haven't had a shit ton of Spydercos, but from what I've experienced, I've always been happy with their S30V. Mr. C always making it rain, always dropping them dollars. Yes, thank you, thank you. We appreciate the donations. Um, yes, I do prefer. I'm gonna start pulling the comments up. I'm sorry, I'm not sitting here being on my job, but that comment wasn't to me. Um, Talica says I chipped my 20 CV hinder buoy blades tip today. Oh shit, that sucks. That's the one you just had. So, okay, so if you guys don't know, Talica just recently had two hinders reground. One with a buoy blade that's got a nice hollow grind, and then the other one has a flat grind. They look wicked. They look badass. They really do. That buoy looks nasty. It looks so sweet. I love the way it looks, especially with that real deep hollow, that buoy blade with the deep hollow. It looks fantastic. But that sucks if you chipped it. Hey, Laz, thank you. Laz D Punch Out TV. What a badass name. Stumbled across this channel. Great channel, bro. Thanks. That's awesome, man. Um, what are you, a boxing channel or fighting channel or something? That sounds awesome. If it is, I see the boxing glove. I love me some boxing. But yeah, thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate the donation and the kind words. Cleaning out a spider coat, or why didn't I pull that up? Let me pull that up. Bang. Um, Danielle says, cleaning out a Spyderco Manix 2. She chipped the day I got her and never again. Yeah, the Manix 2, the one in S30V. So mine came with the factory edge. Both of mine are S30V. I sharpened both of them I think to a mirror edge, and then I put a toothy edge, the second sharpening on my little one. But both of them sharpened up good. But one, yes, one actually, now that you're saying that, was chippy after I started using it. Just a little bit, not bad. But that's all it takes, right? Is that little bit of chippiness, and you're like, what happened to my edge? Sometimes I think that they over buff an edge. A lot of factories, so they'll sharpen it and then they'll put it on the buffing wheel, like to strop it, I guess, to get rid of the burr, and they overdo it. The wheel's going too fast or something, and you'll notice it because when you can go like this with the edge, like you can run your fingers across it and it doesn't feel sharp, like it feels slick. To me, that's when they did that. That's what I think that's from. And you see that a lot, an awful lot. Yes, sir. Boxing channel, but I love knives too. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I love it, man. I love it. We talk about everything here on the lives, uh, including boxing. So we love us some boxing here at Neeves Knives. We love all fighting sports over here at Neeves Knives. Um, Jared, he just tipped you in euros. Hopefully that conversation rate isn't too complicated for you. It's very complicated for me, seems logical. Don't be a smartass. You already knew that. I don't know what fucking $2 in European money is. Could be 10 cents, but hey, thanks, bud. I honestly don't know the translation between money. It could be more. I ain't got a clue. I think Canadian money is a little bit more. And I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and act smart. My tip's still there, but it's chipped. I sent a photo to your Instagram. Yeah, I'll check it out. If you need me to tune it up for you, I'll get it cleaned up for you. Um, it sucks when you chip a tip because it doesn't take much for you to have to remove quite a bit of steel. And it depends on how it chips, the kind of tip, the blah blah blah. Sometimes it's not that bad. Like I've been able to save every tip breaking yet, except for some of the ones I've broke. But everybody who has sent me a tip broken, I've been able to save it, and it looked like it never happened. Um, Daniel says I feel the same about the over buffed theory. Yeah, that's why like when I get a knife, from a factory or whatever, and I feel that, I instantly want to sharpen it because to me, I want that bite. Last thing I want to be doing is going to cut into something and my blade slip. And you guys have seen that where, like, say, let's just say it's cardboard, right? You'll go to cut the cardboard, and instead of going right into the material, it starts bending it or starts pushing it and creasing it. Knives shouldn't do that. Knives should instantly bite into the material and start cutting through. If it starts folding the material, then your edge is slick. Unless if you're going at it weird, then obviously. But if you're going at it the right way with your edge to the material, it should. And you don't want to push, right? When you're cutting something, you don't push it through. You get it to touch it, and then you start moving the edge so that the teeth bite into the material. And if you're doing that and it's still folding or bending or sliding, then you need to sharpen your edge. Most people I find don't even know what a sharp edge is. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of sharp edges from the factory, but it's just people right away, they get it, they start using it, they lose it, and then they never get it back. So the sharpest knife they know of is a factory edge, which I'm not saying there's not some very sharp edges from factories. I've seen some very sharp edges. They're usually not as good as a freehand, but I mean, compared to a dull edge, they're very sharp. Don't forget to punch that like button. Thanks, Breeze. 2 hinders, 1K390. Spyderco is being sent Monday. Take my cash with an open hole. The K390 Spyderco is getting a regrind. You're saying? Collector 34.5 says most people think a extremely sharp edge is anything that actually cuts. So true. So true. You know what's funny? When I was younger, and I didn't realize this till I was older, okay? That there were edges like when I'd touch them and check for sharpness. So, like, the way I would check for sharpness, I realize now that I was actually just feeling the burrs. And I thought that was the level of sharpness because I thought you checked it, which you can to an extent, but if you don't know what you're feeling for, you're not feeling it right. But when you go like this, That's the way I was like kind of taught to check an edge, which you can tell like that it's kind of sharp. But the real way to really tell is with your four fingers, and you kind of touch it and kind of roll. So you're basically kind of like rolling your fingers. And then and then you also run your nail up it. So that's two ways. And obviously you go like this to check to see if there's no burrs or anything. And then you can go, but basically what you're doing is you're feeling the teeth, seeing if they snag, and then running your finger or your nail up it to make sure there's no chips. So you're making sure there's no chips, no nicks, and with your finger pad, you're feeling the teeth snag your skin. And with your eyes too. That's another way. You really need to look with your eyes. Because sometimes things feel sharp, and then when you look at it, it's sharp, but it's not going to be sharp for long. I guess that's a better way to put it. Wait. Seems logical. Thanks, Pal. I'm flipping the ZT0562 carbon fiber as well. That's awesome. That's a badass knife. Mr. C! Thank you, bud. Hey, Jared, what's the difference between G10 and K110? G10 and K110? What's K110? I don't know what K110 is. I'm sorry. I wish I could answer that. G10 is just the synthetic material. It's a resin made material for handles. I forget what it was originally made for. I think it was made back in like World War One originally. I know Micarta was, but I don't know what K110 is though. I never heard of that. Sorry, I wish I did. K1. That's what I thought, Knife Sergeant. That's exactly what I was literally gonna say that. I was gonna say that. And I thought about like he must be talking about something else. Knife Sergeant says K110 is D2. I was literally gonna say that, but I thought like he must be talking about something else because otherwise he would have said a steel, not G10. Thank you, Knife Sergeant. I think he means V. Oh, gotcha. VG10 and K110. There's a big difference between VG10 and K110, if that's what you meant. So K110 is going to be similar, if not the same as D2. It's almost a stainless, basically, but VG10 is a high stainless. VG10 is very stainless. I think it was originally made in Japan. I think it's a Japanese steel. I remember when. So it seems logical. I'm reading what you guys are saying to each other. So, get fucked. Seems logical says me with knives. I remember when the Freak came out, I almost bought it. Opted for the mini grip instead, but the Boost came out at the same time too. If it wasn't for the assist, I like the Boost. Yeah, I don't like those either. I was saying this the other day. I don't like those assisted axis lock knives. I just don't at all. I don't see the point of it. I find that why do you want the axis lock? I guess it's strong, so I guess you could say that. But an axis lock, the point of an axis lock is the fast closing. You deploy it and you can fast close it. So I don't want an assist because then I gotta pry it down and forget all that. What's up, woman carrying knives? WCK's in the house. Evening. Thanks for joining. Definitely go check out Woman Carry Knives channel. Her and ATE have great channels, and they also do lives. Mostly folders, a bit of everything. I have a couple knives where I broke the tip off a little, but I don't fix it because it's useful for me to start pulling off adhesive plastic film. Hey man, I've done that. I've got plenty of knives I don't fix because I end up using them as a screwdriver. But if the knife is that kind of knife already, then that's what you got it for, right? You got it to be a tool. If it breaks, it breaks. You're not willing to put the effort in to fix it. You're just going to use it as is, right? You might sharpen it, maybe, but I know what you mean. But you should definitely at least sharpen the edge. You don't have to fix the tip if it's that bad. Like if it's just a little chip, it's not shit to sharpen it really quick. I mean, so like if you watch the video that I did the Yojimbo, I sharpened or I fixed the tip on Knife Junkie on Bob DeMarco's Yojimbo. And I fixed a few tips for him already. He drops them on ceramic all the time and breaks the tip. So, but what I did was I put it on my belt grinder, the Worksharp belt grinder, just tore the steel right off. So I just got rid of the steel, so I didn't have to spend all that time on the stone, then sharpened it from there. And it went like that, like fast as hell. If you watch the video, it's a pretty good video. Where am I at? Why am I so backed up? Punch Out says, jab that like button. Yes, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that, bud. Thank you. G10 is glass infused cloth layer that are epoxy together, Daniel says. Thank you. Yeah, and same thing with FRN. You know, it's fiber reinforced nylon or GFN glass or GRN. What would be GRN? Glass reinforced nylon. I personally don't like those though. I like G10, but I don't like FRN unless if it's like on certain knives. There's a few knives that I do like it on, I'll be honest. Mr. C, once again, hey bud. Oops, I meant D2 in K110 on a Max Ace Sandstorm. Yes, it's there's no difference really. It's the same thing. It's just a different country. So like, okay, so like 20 CV and M390 and 204P, they're all the same. All it is, it's another country's recipe that's the exact same. There might be like numbers that are slightly different, but not enough to affect it, just enough to patent it. Kind of like medicine, right? You have the generic medicine that's the exact same as the other medicine. The only difference is they can patent it or whatever because they added a little, sprinkle of this in there that's not going to do anything. It's just giving them another name. So it's basically the same thing. Seems logical says I broke the tip on my. Your what? Your Genunting was hacking at some bamboo with it and dragged the tip along a rock hidden in the dirt. Still pissed about it. Damn. Yeah. I think we've all been there, right? Where like you have a knife and I don't know, maybe you're cutting something and it scratches the dirt or the rock or chips something, like hits something hard like a rock or ceramic or something and just annihilates the edge. I remember I was working, where I work, and I don't want. Abby says DLT exclusive rosewood scales got to pick on Instagram. I was working at my work and I had my knife on me and I had to take these stickers off these bottles. So I was using my knife to take the stickers off, right? But it's glass. So literally I removed 2 stickers. My whole edge was just gone, just rolled over and all messed up. I was like, screw it. I might as well keep using it, because there's no fixing it now until I sharpen it. But yeah, where the heck? Oh, here she is. Oh, Rocky. You know what? Let's go to the knife cam. Let's check the knife cam out really quick. Oh, is the light working? Why isn't the light? The light's not that bright no more. I think I'm losing power on it. I might have to replace the bulb. Hang on a second. Let me lift this light up. Hang on 1 second, guys. Just replacing this battery. Did that help any? I don't think so. Did it help? Maybe a little. Man, there's a big ass shadow on there for some reason. I don't know why the shadow's so bad. I thought I checked it beforehand. Let me look at this knife. This knife has a color. Maybe that's why, because this was the knife I checked it with. That blue really pops. I'm testing out different backgrounds. If you guys haven't noticed, every time we do a knife cam, I've been testing out different backgrounds. Today it's white. A therapeutic edge is in the house. What's up, bud? What's up, Zach? Zach's in here too. Ricardo, thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate that, bud. Ricardo with the $2. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. Break's over. Abby's got to go. See you later, bud. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for coming through. I appreciate it, bud. 63 people in here. You guys are amazing, man. You guys are awesome. So cleaning micarta. Let's talk about cleaning some micarta. I get asked that a lot of times. How do you clean micarta? How do you take care of your micarta? Well, there's different ways to take care of micarta. So one, if you don't like the texture of your micarta, you can fix it, or I should say, rough it up a bit, right? So take 300 grit sandpaper, make sure you take out the screws and take it apart. Common sense, take it apart, get it off, and you can scrub it. You can scrub the surface of it and kind of dull it up a little bit, and it'll help bring out the fibers. And but you don't want to go too deep, because the epoxy is usually, depends on how it's made, right? Because there are some that's poured, right, and then this is kind of irrelevant. You're basically just roughing up the epoxy. But the kind that's done in layers, you can usually scratch the surface up and you'll uncover the most of the fiber. Then, but if you go too far, you'll get back down to more epoxy. So, but rough it up really good, and it turns out really nice. That's the way I like it the most. It has a nice texture to it, and it accepts the oils the best. Now, if you want to rush the break-in period or the colors or darken it up a bit, you can use some mineral oil and you can oil it up. Let it dry, but it'll darken it a little bit. Or just do it naturally with your hands and just using it. Some people don't like that, right? Some people think that after using it, it looks dirty and nasty. So if you're one of those people, you can easily keep it clean. All you do is you just use some rubbing alcohol, or you can use soap and water too, but not too much soap, just a little dab of soap and some hot water, and scrub it. Alcohol, in my opinion, works the best. Get a rag, put the alcohol on the rag and scrub it. A little elbow grease, scrub the crap out of it. And it will come out perfectly clean, like it's brand new. And JJ says, "What's up, fellas? What's up, JJ? I am a champion, Micarta." I think I just seen who said that. Talica says, "I'm champion, Micarta." I love Micarta, man. Micarta just looks so natural and like just good to me. I'm thinking about, I don't know what you guys think about this, but I'm thinking about, hey, Mark. Thanks, bud. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. What'd your sticker do? Number one. Well, I almost did that one, but number one. Thank you, bud. I appreciate that. Hogue makes a triage still available. So I'm thinking about taking this stuff from Civivi. You know, it's kind of a mustard color kind of. It's not really the best looking micarta. It's kind of a color. It's kind of green too. When I look at it, it's kind of weird. It's like a baby turd green. Anyways, thinking about dyeing it purple or blue. I'm not sure which one yet because I don't know which one will come out better. I think purple will come out the best. So thinking about doing that pretty soon, doing a video on it and showing how to dye micarta. It's very simple. It's just like dyeing G10. And yeah, so I think that might be good. I'll definitely rough it up first, like I was just saying with the sandpaper, and then dye it. OD green, that would come out pretty good. Uh Talika says OD green. Yeah, that would probably come out the best, to be honest, because it's already kind of that color, but it's not really, I mean, it's not green. It's kind of a yellowish green. So I don't know, but I don't have any purple micarta, and it just sounds badass to me. Um, Zach says, "Do you use vinegar on the micarta brew?" Um, I don't. I don't use vinegar. Oh, you mean for the dye? Yes, yes. I'm sorry. I don't know why I didn't catch that. Yes. So when you use the Rit dye, you can add a little bit of vinegar, just like a teaspoon, a tablespoon of vinegar to the dye. And it helps. I believe the reason why is because it helps absorb into the material. But you want to get synthetic Rit dye. Don't, because there's different kinds. So the one is for like just specifically clothing. You don't want, even though micarta technically is fabric, but because of the epoxy, get synthetic. Therapeutic Edge says that what the hell? Says you want to be careful dyeing micarta. You can permanently change the texture. It can get soft. That's why I was saying I rough it up first. I'll rough it up and let it take, and then if I need to, rough it up again. But yes, yes, you want to be careful with anything you do and be willing. The thing is, anything you're willing to change, you better be willing to lose. So purple feldspar coming. Awesome. Those feldspars look badass in purple because of the pivot collar, the brass pivot collar. Yeah, brass pivot collar. It just looks sweet. We have, not too far away, the jade one, and I thought about doing a blue or a purple on this one because it's got the jade. I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan of the jade G10, but I like it because I like the fact that I can make whatever color I want out of it. But this Civivi with the dark, with the black, I thought it looked kind of cool. But even now, still, I'd rather just dye it eventually. And then it's like you got a whole new knife. Now I want a cobbler, maybe peach. Bree says, rough it up or roof it up. I'm confused. Oh, let's try again. Locally 2 weeks ago, carried it today. What's the easy type of handles are easiest to dye? Jade G10s, just like I was just showing the Jade G10, it's natural. It goes very fast. Now, if you buy cheap knives, I made this mistake before. There's this stuff out there called it's they say it's G10, but it's not. It's, if you read the fine print, it's G10 and FRN combo or whatever. It's like G10 reinforced nylon or something like that, and it does not take the dye. It does, but not good. You'll have to boil it and dye it for like an hour before it'll really take, and then even then it'll wind up coming off. But real G10 takes quick. You put it in the boiling water with the dye, and it takes, and just depending on the color and how dark you want, between 10 and 30 minutes. White FRN. Pure FRN you can dye as long as it's white or something like that. But some of them I've noticed, like certain FRNs or what's the other one? FRN, GFN, GRN, whatever, don't take very good. They just don't. It's the glass in it or something. It just reflects it. What's up, Benjamin? What is up, Benjamin? Thank you for coming, man. But yeah, certain FRNs take it just fine. It just kind of depends. I've seen a lot of people dye the FRN. It comes out really good. Norseman thoughts. I like the Norseman. I do like the Norseman. I think the North. Sorry, I seen something flying around. Probably was in your guys' ears. I like the Norseman. The Norseman used to be one of my grails. I've never tried it, but I like it. I think it's badass. I think it looks like it's very useful. Benjamin, thank you, bud. Fist bump to you, brother. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Thank you guys for the donations, man. You guys are amazing. Thank you. And I appreciate you guys coming here and hanging out with me and everything. Um, what time is it? What do we got? 7:30. So we got about 15 more minutes before we start talking some stories. Both are basically Where'd that go? Both are basically made from the same material, though. Yeah, but it's still though. Like I said, I've dyed a bunch of them, and they're not the same. Like they're different. Like I had one, I boiled and tried to dye for an hour and a half, and it wound up coming out with a color, but it also wound up washing off after I don't know a month or two, couple months. It just didn't take, and you can feel the difference in FRN and G10. Are you talking about You're talking about the other ones, not G10. You're talking about like FRN, GFN, and all that stuff. Yeah, yeah, they're all basically the same. It's basically just tough plastic. That's why I really don't like it. But it is a little tougher than plastic, though. I'll give it that. It is a little tougher than plastic. Evil E says, "What color to dye my gray blue G10 scales? Red, blue, or purple?" Well, if it's gray blue, um, gotta go with purple because you want to go with a color that's similar to the color it is if it's already colored because you can't do an opposite. Like if it's purple, right? You can't get it to turn orange. Like it'll just turn black. So you got to go like if it's a blue, if you want it dark, like say if it's a baby blue or something, you can turn it dark blue or you can turn it purple. So I would stick with the color, thing it is. Ian says, "Have you tried dyeing a gradient?" Yes, I have. I think that's pretty cool looking. Yes. So, the way I personally did it was what I did was I had it dipped. So I dipped the whole thing in. Okay. I had the whole thing dipped in there and I let it sit for, I don't know, just a couple minutes. And then I slowly started pulling it out, like literally very, very slow so that it just turned from like a light what was it? It was like a purplish red, like a dark reddish purple. So and it like turned from light to dark at the bottom. And then the bottom I just let sit in there like for a half hour. Hawaiian knife and gears here? I can't see him. Where's he at? There he is. What's up, bud? Aloha. Um, he was doing a live earlier. Dying Q and Fiend says dying scales should be addictive like mixing paints. Adding too many will make brown. Oh, I said addictive. Additive. Yeah, it definitely can like I did gray on my bug out, my Benchmade bug out. It was supposed to be charcoal gray. That's the way it was supposed to be. Came out black. And I didn't leave it in there long or anything like that. It just took so fast and it didn't come out good. But that's just trials and errors, man. That's the way it is. And I bought G10, the JG10 scales for it when I dyed it from Flytanium. 73 people in here, which is amazing. Thanks for joining. Let's help out by hitting that like button. Thank you, Breeze. Thank you, Breeze. Yeah, I appreciate if you guys can hit that like button. It does help us out very, very much. Um, yeah, it definitely helps us out, and we really do appreciate it. If you like the content, if you don't like the content, give us a thumbs down. At least if you like it, like it. If you don't like it, well, show me that you don't like it by giving me a big thumbs down. I need to know if you guys don't like it. I don't want you guys just sitting in here hanging out, not liking it, not at least telling me. Shit. Give me some feedback. Low budget bass, and I like that name. You're the man, Jared. Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, if you insist, Jared. Oh, let's see if he did. Oh, I got two of them. People in there are like, oh, fuck yeah, I'll hit that button. Oh, one person hit the dislike button for the laugh out louds. Man, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the feedback. I appreciate it. What do I got? I got 2 out of 73 not liking it. I guess it's good ratio, but I hate for 2 people not to like the content. But hey, you can't make everybody happy, can you? Breeze is the other one, most likely. Seems like probably. We have a traitor in the midst. Yes, we do. Or at least somebody sitting back, you know. There are people that do not like the content, but they still stick around, you know. I mean, I don't know, maybe to not like it or just maybe because they are entertained. I don't know. Sometimes I've had people dislike a video because of me messing up a phrase, you know, like saying flipper or something when I meant thumb studs, or you know, I don't know if I've done that, but something like that. And yeah, people they can be sensitive. Let me tell you, sensitive. But that's okay. I get it. And I don't care. Jared, what knife service do you offer? Sharpening services. I offer a couple different sharpening services, freehand, or I can do it with the work sharp. Hey, punch out again, man. Thank you. My good friend, I can show you my knife collection. If you put in Laz Dawkin in YouTube, you will see my knife collection. Good night. God bless. Definitely, everybody should go check out his knife collection. Everybody loves knife collection videos. Sounds awesome. I appreciate it. LOZDAWKINS. Is that a Z? Got it. Thank you, bud. Hawaii says, watch mine and you will get some perspective. This is a very professional live stream. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. Because I don't feel very professional doing it. I do not. I try, but I'm still getting used to this, you know, like meaning the app and everything. Um, so dislikes for the fuck? Dislikes for misspeaking a phrase is silly. Point it out, but don't dislike for such small detail. I feel like if you know what I meant, what is that? You have no idea. There's people that, and I'm not talking crap about anybody. I don't want anybody thinking I am. I don't care. I'm just calling it as I see it. But if I mess something up in a video, I'll get 10 people to tell me instead of them just looking to see if somebody's already told me. And then there's the people that say it. I was going to tell you this, but I see everybody else already told you, which is funny because I know I messed up. Even if I rewatch it, I know I messed up. It's just misspeaking, you know? Um, it's like say if I pulled this out and said the Kaiser prickle, right? I know it's not a Kaiser prickle. I just misspoke. It's a concept prickle, right? But people will make sure they inform you and let you know. Now, there are times where I have been wrong and didn't know I was wrong. And I appreciate people letting me know. But when you do wrong, you hear about it for like I got a video right now, man. I just want to take down. I've gotten so much hate from it. Every time I see the picture of the comment that's coming up, I already know these motherfuckers are about to drag me through the fucking mud. Like they're just ready to just drag the shit out of me. A lot of them say the exact same thing too, but what I still answer it though. I mean, it's like, what are you gonna do? I did the video. They're supposed to comment, so I appreciate it. John Powell says, just got back from vacation and told the wife I need to get my knives update. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. Hopefully the wifey's okay with it. I have a degree in English. I see everyone's grammar and spelling mistakes all the time, but I don't go about being a grammar Nazi because it's counterproductive. Absolutely. And I think a lot of people know they're doing it wrong. I think some people it's just a rush thing. You know, it's kind of like when you see the where, the WERE, the WHERE, like they're just doing they're just writing and they're not really concentrating on which one's supposed to go where. They're just saying it and it's not that big of a deal, right? Is it that big of a deal? No, you know what they mean. We lost one of the greatest middleweight boxers of all time today. Rest in peace. Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Sad to hear, man. Rest in peace. What's the time? Haters gonna hate. Yes, I totally agree. But you know, it's not even hate. I think sometimes they're just trying to bring your attention because that's what they know and they're trying to help. I think a lot of people are trying to help. Um, Sometimes it's just like if the video's 6 months old, you can imagine somebody's already told me after 6 months, and if you look through the comments, you can see it's been told to me 150 times or something. And I understand, they might not be looking at the date. I get it. Trust me, I completely get it. They probably think the video was just put up yesterday or something. So they feel like they should just let me know. I get it. And I don't get mad at anybody. I goof around on here and talk crap, but it's just because I talk shit. You know. Uh, 1 minute knife reviews is out of here. Wait, what? What are we going to wear? Where are we going? Oh, I see what you're doing. I see what you did. Picked up a PM2 and S110V today. I've tried one of those out. Outpost 76 sent me his a long time ago. It was one of the first people to ever send me a knife, and it was an S110V, and that was the first time I experienced it. And I remember when I got it, that fucker was sharp, boy. He put a nasty, like I think it was a 600 grit edge. And man, that thing was so stupid sharp. Woman Carry Knives says, I don't edit my videos, so you get what you get. I get some interesting comments and I just say, hey, thanks for your opinion. Yeah, I do edit, but that doesn't mean I don't miss things. Or this is the thing, is sometimes when I edit, there's nothing I can do about it. Either one, I edit out the sentence and then it makes it look weird. Like if I was like say if I said this knife's length is 3.5 inches, but really I meant the blade length or something. Like if I edit that out, like I might write on the screen like my mistake, and say blade length or something, but that's the best I can do. Like there are times, I mean, where I edit out a whole sentence of words because it was irrelevant. I was rambling and it didn't, something like that. But there's certain things I can't edit out. Like it doesn't matter. Like it won't the whole thing won't make sense if I edit that one word out. But you already know what I mean when I say it. So, but yeah, if you don't edit at all, you get what you get, right? And I've done that. I've done that, especially like when I record live earlier. I recorded a full I recorded a sharpening. I posted it on Instagram of the Tucson TS311, and it was going to be how it was going to be. I couldn't do anything about it because I can't, for some reason, and I don't know why, but I can't post to Instagram from my editor with videos over 1 minute. It won't do it. It's weird because I can post from like just my camera to Instagram 10 minutes, 11 minutes, an hour, and it's fine. But I can't do it from my editor for some reason. So it's not like I can go into my editor and fix the video. They have to go up there exactly how I did it. I can't fix it. So mistakes are part. Yes, Kevin, you said it great. I love that. Where'd it go? Mistakes are a part of the appeal to these videos, at least for me. Makes the YouTuber seem more real. Absolutely. Absolutely. We all make mistakes. Absolutely. And at a certain point, do you want somebody who doesn't make mistakes? I mean, I understand people make mistakes, and there's times where I'll just say it for them, like, and I might be a smart ass when I do it. Like, say if somebody pulled this out and said, like let's go back to Kaiser. Oh, the Kaiser Feldspar. I might be like, it's CJRB, dick. Know, but I know why they did. It's just a mistake. I got a low budget Bassin says I got a buck folding fillet knife and a dragonfly and stainless for $30 today. Good deal. That dragonfly alone. I'm a smarter ass. Yeah, you probably come up with some real smart ass shit. I am here for entertainment. Where'd it go? I hate when it moves. I'm just about to put the name on the screen, and then it goes like this. Like I'm just about to push it, goes gone. I am here for entertainment. Looking at Jared. No, I just messed it up. Look at Jared's face. I'll take that as a compliment. Picked up a Kershaw leak for $24 today. Awesome. At Ace Hardware? No shit. Just happened to look at the knife case on the way out. Jesse, you got a deal, man, especially from Ace Hardware. Ace Hardware is always so much more expensive. Every time I buy from Ace Hardware, especially knives, it's always like $10, $15 more than I can get it from anywhere else. Almost anything. Maybe that's just around here, and maybe Ace Hardware's are better deals in other places, but the Ace Hardware here is expensive. Woman Carry Knives says we should all do videos with wrong names and specs and all post the same day. Oh, I would totally be in on that. That is so funny. The community would fucking go batshit crazy. Another one of these. These guys can't get nothing right. Yeah, I've definitely had my share of hate from people from me, like either the way I say words or how, like, if I misspeak on something. The one guy was mad at me over my links. Yeah, buddy, little hard to Spidey flick, I think, at least right now. Jesse says 14C28 at Civic. We talked about that earlier against 154 CM, and I talked about how I like it better. I love 14C28N. It was made for knives, and I think it's a damn good steel. Easy to heat treat and easy to sharpen. Takes a heck of an edge and has great edge retention. What did this say? 4 for 1. Love it. Whatever. Sorry if I miss anything. If I ever miss something, you guys want me to make sure I put it on the screen or say it, just say it again or say my name. Then I see it. Love my Hinder and 8CR. I don't know about that. I don't know about. You mean? I don't know. I'm not even gonna go there. I'm guessing it's a clone. I have the PM2 Emerson. Awesome, man. Awesome. I need to check out more Emersons. I've only tried 2 or 3. I like them. I know they usually have lock stick and they always do, but to me, they're just a work knife, man. And I got to respect tools. I mean, just growing up in construction, I love tools as tools. Sometimes I don't think they need to be beautiful. Sometimes they don't need to be art. Sometimes they just need to be a good tool. And that's what I think about Emerson's. And I'm not saying they're all great. I know some of them have their fit and finish issues, lock stick, etc., which I do not think a knife needs to have. Like some people argue that, well, it has lock stick, so the lock doesn't slip and has stronger lockup. Bullshit. It has lock stick because it has lock stick. I know they all have lock stick almost, but to me, in 2021, you don't need lock stick. We really don't. Lock stick should be 2000. Like it should have been a long time ago. We shouldn't have that problem anymore. Not with all the knives that are super smooth with strong lockup. It's crazy that Jamie quit Blade HQ now too. Really? Did not know that, monster. Huh. I wonder if he's going someplace else that's like knife related or just said I'm done. Wonder why. Jesse says, Jared, when you were getting the rotation of the push button. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That's another thing. Excuse me, guys. Savivi contacted me. Mr. Big Time over here. I was definitely very flattered. Sencut contacted me like a month or so ago, but I already checked out all their knives. So they asked me if they thanked me for my review, and they said if you want to check out any knives, let us know. I had already checked them all out though, so I just said, hey, when you guys come up, when you guys get some more knives, let me know. But Savivi contacted me, and I had to say I was pretty excited, pretty excited. I ran around all day bragging about it. Anyways, so they asked me if I wanted to check out anything. They thanked me for my review first of all, and because they seen the one on the the riffle, which is an awesome knife, and asked me if I wanted to check out anything. I said yes. I said I want to check out the new Elementum, the button lock one. And so they're sending that and like two or three other knives. One, they asked me if I want to check out. I said I already did, but they're going to try to get me a few knives. I asked for the Keen. I don't think they're going to send the Keen. I think it's because it's had so many reviews, but they're still going to take care of me. They're going to send a few knives I haven't checked out. So I will have the button lock soon, and I will get you guys a review. Has anyone tried the Todd Begg 1911 grips? No, I personally haven't. Has anybody else? Yeah, Jesse, I was gonna ask for that one too. Um, Honestly, I feel bad like when companies say like, "Hey, is there anything you want to check out?" I want to check everything out. Like I want to be like, "Yeah, how many you got?" I want to write down every single knife they have in their arsenal, but I also don't want to be greedy. I want to pick like what's the best, like thing I could ask for without being too greedy. So I asked for I think two things and then or three things and they said one, they didn't say they couldn't do the one, but they tried to encourage me to do another one. So I realized that they just, if there's so many reviews out on one, they're wanting to get exposure to knives that don't have a lot of reviews. So I basically left it up to them. Like, listen, if there's other knives, if I haven't reviewed it, I'll review whatever you guys need reviewing, which is the way, it should be. I'm not getting the knives for me, I'm getting it for the review, you know, and partly for me. That would be great, though, a lot closer to Alan says, dude, I got my Alien Eyes MX4 on the way. I'm so stoked to get it my hands on that one. Awesome, man. I see Russ says Spirited. Is Spirit in here? Oh, he is in here. What's up, buddy? What's going on, bud? I seen that Instagram post you put up. I don't know if you see my comment, man. That thing looks super clean. I don't think you got it yet though. That knife you posted, that thing looks the only way I can come up with it is clean. Like it looks really basic, but in a good way. Sometimes the best knives are just nice, clean knives. Like they're not too extravagant, but they look like a great knife. And I love that about that knife you posted. I like Jamie. He didn't have Ben's charisma or Matthew's meme knowledge, but he was a cool dude to see on there. I like all them dudes on there. I think they all have a good thing going. They all have their own personality. And to be honest, I know they're obviously not the CEOs or owners or anything, but they're the face. And you get used to the face. It's kind of like right now if Neevesknives changed into somebody else's face, right? It wouldn't, I like seeing the face, but you also got to understand those people are just workers, they're employees. They're going to grow and move on. They're not going to stay there forever. Some might, but most of them won't. Most of them, if they get a better job opportunity, they'd be dumb not to take it. So, what are we talking about, Matt Lambert? What's up, bud? We're talking about anything you want to talk about, bud. What do you want to talk about? We talk about anything and everything. Picking up the new CK Maverick tomorrow morning. Can't wait. Superb grinds, some oil slick Zerk accents, simple user finishes. Christensen's work is top. Yeah, that's the one I think I'm talking about. Yeah, the thing is sweet. Very sweet. I still wonder if Austin over at Blade HQ has ever smashed with that work sharp girl. Hannah, I think her name was. Most likely. I mean, if they're both two good looking individuals, why wouldn't they, right? Um, John Paul says, your thoughts on the Wii banter? If you already posted about it, I apologize. I have not. I haven't tried it. I think it looks like kind of like what I was just saying. It looks simple. It's a knife. It looks like it's very useful, and it's Wii's quality. And one thing is that how's the audio? How about now? How about now? How about now? Good. Okay. So what I was saying was that I haven't tried it, but it's now scratchy. Okay, hang on one second. How about now? Give me some feedback. Give me some feedback. Testing, testing. One, two, three, four. A, B, C, D. How do I sound? How do I sound? How do I sound? I'll pull it away if it's too loud. Better than earlier? Okay. So what I was saying was that I think that it's going to have all the good things that good knives have in it because Ben has tried and tested so many knives that he knows the good little details, which is what makes a great knife is those little details. So I think he's going to make sure that all those little details are in his knife, and that's what's going to make it so great. But I haven't tried it, but I know it has all those things. Sorry, I'm trying not to swallow in the mic. People are telling me I should do the ASMR videos for knife sharpening where I wouldn't talk, like I would just sharpen. That scratching noise on the stone seems to put people to sleep, including myself. So I know what they mean. I actually watch knife sharpening videos sometimes when I want to go to sleep. I thought about it. Got to get them views. The banter is a good, well-rounded knife. Yeah, I agree. I just haven't tried it, but it looks like a good knife. And like I said, I know Ben, you know, made sure he put those little details that make a good knife in there. I want to stop doing this. Oh my god. All right. Low budget says I gotta run. Thanks, y'all. Thank you for stopping in here, bud. I appreciate you, bud. Thank you. All right. Jared, where'd it go? Jared, which work sharp do you use? I have the Ken Onion, the electric one. with the grinder attachment, and I have a bunch of them. I have the field sharpener. I have the guided the new guided one, or the angle precision guided one. Their clamp system. I have that one. I think that's it. I have those three. I don't use them though, really. I use the Ken Onion for grinding knives, like for blade grinding, and then I freehand. I use the little field sharpener for freehanding. I've done a bunch of videos on it, but I freehand. Like the other one I bought to test, and I keep it around like to do because I did a bunch of knives on it to test it and review it. But since my long-term video, I haven't used it. I used it a whole bunch up until then, and then I haven't used it. I got a brand new one though I'm giving away. Did they say they were out of here? Therapeutic Edge. Therapeutic Edge Woman Carrying Knives. Good night. Enjoy your meal. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Dude, so many new customs you need to check out. Corbin Mayo, McGinnis, Mosier, CK, Walter Randolph. Man, stop it, man. That's it's craziness, man. Some of the knives you get when I see them, like it's like just straight knife porn. Sometimes I don't even know how you get them so quick because people have. Sorry, I dropped something. People have months and like years before they get a hold of some of these knives you get, and like you'll post one, and then the next day you got another one like getting made. It's crazy. I don't know how you do it, but good for you, man. That's awesome, and I'd love to check them out. Like they all look amazing. All your knives look amazing. You definitely got a good eye for knives. Eva Lee says, bye, Christine. Bye, Peter. Yes, goodbye. Thank you guys for coming. Todd Carr says, just got the Worksharp Precision adjustable and works great. Even the wife can use it. Yes, they are super easy to use. That's why I knew it when I seen it before I bought it. And I knew that thing was going to be a big hit. That's why I bought it. And that's why I reviewed it for them views, because I knew that that was going to be something that everybody was going to want and like. So, and it's the best system you can get for 50 bucks. Absolutely. Does it have its small issues? Of course it does. It's 50 bucks. You're going to get a damn good edge. Damn good edge. It's hard to beat. A lot of people ask me which one do I like better for 50 bucks, the Lansky or that one? That one hands down. Because for the system from the Lansky, in my opinion, that makes it good, costs like 100. You got to get the diamond stones, you got to get the base. So it winds up becoming much more money than just 50 bucks. Jesse says, Jared, how do you sharpen spider edge? Serrated. I got the pair 3 in full serrated. Guess I'll throw it out when it gets dull. No, don't throw it out. If it's just like if one side is serrated and the other side is flat, then all you gotta do is sharpen the other side. You don't, everybody thinks you sharpen serrations by sharpening the serrations. That's not how it works. You sharpen the other side. Now, when it's gotten so bad, then yeah, you got to add new serrations in there. But the reason why the other side of a serrated knife is flat is for you to sharpen that away. And your serrations are cut in at an angle. So once you remove that steel, it goes back to a sharp edge. Very easy, actually. A lot easier than people think. If people knew how easy they were to sharpen, they'd probably buy more of them because they cut probably better than anything. Lavender Pants is in here. What's up, Pants? Chris is in here too. What's up, Wolf? We got 72 folks in here. You guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. Do you have any serrated knives? I have a couple. I have a Griptilium, half. It's not the whole knife. I don't have any full knives, except for kitchen. But no, half. They're the half serrated. I did a video on sharpening at one time. But when it gets so bad, then yeah, then you got to put in new serrations. But that's easy too. You just get a diamond file. It's pretty simple actually. But you don't have, it takes a long time till you have to do that in all reality. You can sharpen it back from the flat side for a long time. A lot of times you can just knock the just the very tip of the edge off and you'll have a sharp serrated knife again. Like very sharp, brand new. Yeah, two lonely dislikes. Two unhappy campers. Unfortunately, I figured I'd get a lot of shrimp fishermen if I used a knife prawn. What's knife prawn? I don't know what that is. Knife prawn? Maybe I know what it is and I'm just not thinking of it. 71, 74 people. Wait, 74 people, 74 likes. That's amazing. Thank you guys. I'm sure some of you guys did it on two different devices because you guys are smart. And I like that about you. That's what's so great about the people that follow me and come in my lives. They're very smart, very smart. So, do you think people would pay a $200 premium over a $400 React if it was top quality made in the US? Yes and no. Okay, so I'm going to play it devil's advocate here. The people that would buy the React, yes, I do think that they would because it's made in the US and they want that. You know, they understand. I think the people that buy Reacts and buy USA made knives, they understand that already. People aren't dumb. People know why USA made knives cost more. But there's also the people that know the quality that comes from React. So they know that like they can get the same quality for $200 cheaper. And those people know, those people won't. Those people are going to buy the React because they can save 200 bucks and get the same quality. But you're still going to have the people that want the USA made product. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people in this community that will not buy a fucking React. They just won't because it's made in China. No matter if it's the best USA company in the world, they are not touching it. Like it's just a fact. You can't blame them. So those people and also the people that buy USA products, like there's a reason why people buy Spartans and Chris Reeve knives and Benchmades and Spyderco's, and I'm talking about the expensive ones, right? So you would still sell it. It's just the people in all reality, the people that are going to save the $200 and buy it from Riat wouldn't buy it anyways. They don't have the 200 extra dollars to put on it. Like mostly those people, they have a limit, right? Like say with me, um, I have a limit that I can spend on a knife. It's not that I don't want to spend 200 more dollars, it's that I can't, right? So I have to go within my means. Those people just aren't going to. But the people that can, they will, and they're gonna. And then they'll turn around and sell it for an extra $200 on the secondary market. Uh, Don, my aunt Dawn says Rockstead. Let's get the Rocky out. This light's going dull. I'm not going to put it on the knife cam. I don't even know why I have it set up. Let's just put it on the big cam. Oh, Rocky. It's like the moon's going down. It's like a shooting star. Let's see if it'll focus on it. There we go. She's a beauty. Oh, oh, that was my fault. You know what's getting real smooth? Check this out. The USMC fighter. Ooh, see how smooth that thing's getting? Woo, Mark H. See everyone Wednesday. Gotta go make dogs dinner. She's giving me the dirty looks already. Thanks for coming, Mark, and thank you for the damn it. Almost forgot that damn bell. Thank you for the donation, but I appreciate it, man. All right, so I know we're already. Oh no, wait, 7:30, 8:30. Oh yeah, I'm already like a half hour late. So I was supposed to talk about getting clean. I could wait till Wednesday and do it. But yeah, maybe we'll just save that one for Wednesday. I did put it in the title though, didn't I? I could change the title. No, there's 69 people in here. Uh, it's up to you guys. You guys want to hear the story, or should I wait till Wednesday? I can wait till Wednesday if you guys want to keep talking knives. Damn, he calls his wife a dog. You guys are brutal, man. You guys are brutal. Story time. All right, story time. I'm gonna push my mic back. Let me know if the mic cuts out. Am I still there? Still good? Give me a thumbs up. Can you guys hear me? I'm not getting no feedback. Good, good, good. Okay. Why is this one not? There it goes. I don't know why the ones is backed up. Okay, so um a lot of people ask me and I've gotten this question a bunch of times, like when did I get clean? Why did I get clean? What did I get clean from? What was I addicted to? What was my drug of choice? Blah 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 blah. So first of all, it wasn't just like getting clean from from drugs. It was also the lifestyle and like getting away from crime and being, a criminal and doing bad behaviors. Period. But because it's not that I was just addicted to drugs, which my drug of choice was heroin, and I was addicted to it for a few years. It started with pills, started with, I've done every drug just about. I mean, not every drug. I've never done meth, but I mean, I've done just about every drug. But I wasn't like addicted to them or anything like that. But I was addicted to heroin. Started with pills, and because of problems in life, and when when you do get clean, you go down a psychological battle where you realize why you started and what brought you to that. And it's not until afterwards though, because when you're, excuse me, in it, you can't see it. You don't realize, and you don't have the time to think about it or understand it. And you're just trying to survive. It is survival, because I had issues with morphine after breaking my back years ago. It's usually how it starts. Is usually morphine, oxycontin, oxycodone, fentanyl. Uh, I did all of them, so I know. But it, when you're addicted, I like to say it's like drowning, right? Because when you're drowning, you're willing to do anything to get to oxygen. Like you will kill the person next to you to get the air. It's just a fact, right? And it's kind of like that. You're willing to do anything to get to oxygen. So you do things that aren't you. You wind up hurting the people around you. You're willing to do anything to get to it, and it's just a slope. At first, you're doing great, and you're, what do they call it? They call it a functioning addict. That's a real thing. A lot of people think it doesn't exist. It exists. It's just the beginning stages. And some people are able to do it for a lot longer than others, and it just depends on your life and what happens in your surroundings. But eventually, you are going to crash. And when you do, it's not fun, man. It takes you down a path that turns makes you evil. It turns you into an evil person, and it's not even you anymore, because your brain, the chemicals in your brain change, the things in your brain change. You turn into somebody else. Like, yeah, deep down inside you're still you probably still have some of your morals, but not completely, because that's more important. Surviving is more important, and you're willing to do anything to get to that oxygen. All right. So, but I was getting arrested. I got arrested multiple times in a couple months. I ran from the cops. I was running from the cops. I had warrants and, was, what do they call it? A fugitive for a while. And I kept that going for a while, actually, because you're not willing to give it up. And it almost killed me a few times because I wasn't willing to stop, and at a certain point, it's like, when is enough enough? Like, when is it like, is jail gonna do it? Am I gonna have to go to fucking prison for years? Am I gonna have to, like, just, it winds up becoming so much. And I basically had a choice because I like I said, I was getting arrested. I wound up getting busted for my warrant. After running from the cops multiple times, getting away from the cops. I'll beat the cops many times. Let me tell you, many times. And eventually they're going to catch up to you, And after the last time I've got arrested, I wound up taking a plea deal and getting on. I got on probation, and like that was like the teetering point. Like, if I keep doing this, I'm going to prison, right? Like, there's no doubt. Like, there's no nothing. Like, I got I had 3 felonies, so there was nothing else. I had no more slack. So I had no choice. Either one, get clean. And let me tell you, the first part of my probation, I fucked around. I could tell you some hilarious ass stories about passing some drug tests because, it's not like you just have the ability to just stop. That's not the way it works. I had to get on medication. I had to go see a doctor. I had to do a lot, like, therapists, this, that, like a lot of things. I did it the right way, but I also did it a different way than what they would want you to do it, I guess. Meaning, like, I didn't really go to like AA and stuff like that. I had to legally by the courts, but that's not what made me get clean. What made me get clean was just the thought that I wanted a normal life. I didn't want to keep going down this. I wanted my life back because I had given it up like the past, few years at the time. I was sick of running from the cops. I was sick of fighting the cops and fucking just everything, sleeping on concrete floors in jail and this and that, and just all kind being dirty, just everything that the lifestyle brings. You know, the dangerous nights on the streets getting the stuff and just everything. I was done with it. And there's that stage, right? I think they say there's like 4 stages, right? And stage 4 is you're so sick of it that you won't live with it for another day, right? You just won't tolerate it for another day. And that was the point I was at, but it's not that easy. You can't just say, I'm clean now, right? Cold turkey. Like, that's bullshit. Okay. It might work for certain things, but for that, it's not like that unless if you're locked up, right? And then when you're locked up, you're only not doing it because you're locked up. There's a chemical in your brain that's suffering and it forces you to go do it. Like, it's so hard. It's hard to explain to anybody if they haven't done it. And that's why people do it for their whole life and then die from it. That's why, because they don't have a choice. They have no choice. So I wanted going and seeing a doctor because I was on probation. Remember, I was on probation. So I had drug tests every week. I had, they would come and see me every week. Like, once a week they'd stop in. I had to go to court every week. Like, they made it impossible. They made it to where it was basically intense probation. Like, the one fuck up, I was getting locked up. And they didn't expect me to pass because they literally made it impossible for me to pass. If it wasn't for certain people around me, I would have never passed. It's crazy that I did. Even the judge, like, when I did wind up passing and going back to court, like after, like every week, and then it got, brought out to like every month, and then he said, okay, don't see me until you're done or whatever. He was so fascinated with that I got it done without fucking up that, he wound up actually like commending me because nobody does. Nobody can do all those things at the same time and not fuck something up. It's just it's like almost impossible. It's kind of like, how can you work a job, do community service, go in for drug tests, be home between 6 and 6, go to Nicasa drug programs, and go see your probation officer every week, all at the same time, and keep a job and pay like $1,000 fucking a month. Like, nobody can do that. Like, it's almost impossible. But I was able to do it. But like I said, I went and seen the doctor, got on medication, and after I got on medication, I never went back. Like, I right after, because it fills your brain with the chemical that you need to stop. Like, because that chemical's missing from your brain, and that's the chemical that makes you basically feel like you're dying, and you do feel like you're dying. You basically are fucking dying. And it's crazy. It's the same chemical that makes you do things you don't want to do, that you would never do, like the most lowest shit ever, because you have to feed that. Like I said, like the oxygen thing, you have to breathe. This would be a totally different channel too. I don't know what that means. Um, but so anyway, so I got on medication, and I was going and seeing my doctor all the time and getting the medication and getting off of it. But like I said, once I got on that, I never went back. I never had a fuck up, never had a hiccup, never even thought about it. And I was very successful, which is not probably very common, because most people teeter. They go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I didn't do that. I was done with it. I already gave my time, if you know what I mean. And I know, like, if you mess up at a certain point, there's only a couple choices for you, and I've given my time to the streets. I've given my time to everything. I'm done. I don't want it. I want my time back. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to lose no more time. I've seen so many, I had friends dying in my arms. Like, it seemed like every fucking week. I had so many people die in my life, between from drugs to the streets to murder to this to that. Like, it's just a disgusting feeling, and it never stops. It never stops. And it's like, every day it's a constant chase. Even when I first got on probation, I could tell you some messed up stories, what I had to do, like, to even, like, aside from, like, the messed up things I had to do to pass drug tests and beat the system, basically, because that's what it was. It was just beating the system. I had to get clean every single week to pass a drug test. So you're talking about me going through severe withdrawals weekly, and then going back on drugs, and then, like, and that, doing that back and forth, man, it fucks you up bad. It really does. And it did. And subs work too, but it's just as addictive for sure. Yeah, Suboxone. I think that's what you're talking about. Hawaii. Yes, that does work. That's the drug we're talking about. There's a couple different. There's buprenorphine. There's Suboxone. There's a couple different ones. It's just the same thing, just a different label. Um, but uh, but then after doing that for like 6 months, it was like, no, I can't keep doing this. It's making me fall apart. Like, because being sick once, that type of sickness is one thing. Doing it weekly to pass drug tests, I even got my system down to the point to where I could do drugs and pass a drug test in 12 hours. That's how good I wound up getting, because I was literally pushing the limit so close to my drug tests, and I had to do them constantly, constantly. And so I was pushing that limit, like, big time. I was fucking up bad. But and the limit was gonna wind up closing, and I would have failed. I would have wound up failing. I only failed technically one drug test. I think it was like my first or second one or something like that. I got locked up for it, but I never failed one after that. And they kind of expect that one. I just had a shit judge. I don't even think I failed. I think I told him I'd fail or something, because I thought as I seem like the dude. It doesn't matter. Anyways, but going back and forth though, man, the time limit, like where I'd go, like say 48 hours, right? Clean. It was so hard. So then I'd be like, okay, if I can do it in 40, I can do it in 36. Then if I'd be clean in 36 hours, oh, well, I can do it in 32 hours, then 24 hours, then 22 hours. And I was literally narrowing it down to the point to where I was doing it every 12 hours because I just drink so much damn water and get so sick just to pass that drug test, just to stay on drugs. Like it was bad, man. It was bad. And if and all it took was me to fail that for me to get locked up, and I'd have been fucked. Fucked. I had already been arrested so many times that I was past the limit of return. Like the courts will give you so much leeway. They'll give you enough string to hang yourself. That's what they'll do. They give you enough string to hang yourself. And I had already done that too many times. I had already hung myself so many times that like it was like my last shot at staying out of prison. And I should be reading the comments. I'm sorry. I hope you guys re-say them now. I'll start reading them now. I guess I could just back up, but so there's a lot more to the story. Like, but that's just basically a summed down version of it. Um, because some of it's funny because like I there's a lot of humor in anything. I find the humor in things, and I've got a lot of very funny ass stories from when I was on it and when I was fucking up versus jail stories and this story, that story, probation stories. Like I got one of when I had to do a drug test and I was dirty, but I was locked in the jail. Or not in the jail, sorry. And it's called pretrial. Pretrial is like if you go to court, they're going to say, okay, we'll let you go, but you got to go sign up the pretrial and go piss. You're locked in still. The jail, you're in the jail basically doing a piss test. And if you fail it, you're getting locked up. If you pass it, they're letting you out the door. And I was dirty as shit and I passed it. And that's a story for another day because it was not easy. It's definitely a funny story, but definitely another day. But naloxone, that's what's in it's never mind. I'm not gonna get into it. But yeah, that's to save people. Losing people to drugs while you're on drugs pushes you either further down the drug world or gives you the fire you need to climb your way out of the world. Yeah, and I lost so many. I I couldn't tell you how many times I saved people's lives. I did CPR on somebody one time in the middle of an intersection at a green light with traffic, I mean, all around, and I'm fucking doing CPR on this guy. I a big dude, not fat, but just big swole dude. But and I wound up saving his life. And my friend, I did CPR on people on bathroom floors and like so many times, so many people. And like right now, my nephew's locked up in jail right now. And it kills my soul because I want to help him so bad and I want to do shit for him and help him get straight. But I can't do it for him. But I'm definitely gonna be writing them and stuff. But yeah, everybody around me, it seemed like I was constantly seeing ODing. And thank you. 1 minute, I appreciate that, bud. Always, man, always. You can't do anything else but that. I appreciate your donation, man. Thank you. Congratulations on your survival. Many can't do it. Thanks for the story. It shows people can. Absolutely. And people can. It is tough. And when I see people, like people I used to know, hang out with, people I do know, see them all the time. I know where they're at. I know what they're doing. I know where they're going. I know who they're going to see. And I feel the pain. I know what they're feeling. I know everything. And if they only knew how I felt now, they would stop. They would, but it's hard to, it's impossible to get somebody to, to clean up. They have, there's that saying, you have to want to. And it's more than that. It's usually they need help. They do need help. but they have to know they have help, and you have to help them in a certain way because there's specifics that is so scary to that person that they're not willing to lose that or damage that. And that's why I'm blessed with the way I did it. I did it the best way for me. And anybody else, it might not work. Some people does, some people doesn't, but for me, it worked out for the way I did it. Oz Roosevelt is opening up his list. He sold 100 spots in 30 seconds. If you guys heard that, the Oz Roosevelt knife, Oz Company Roosevelt, he's opening up his books. If I did a live stream and shared my story, it would be 2 hours long for sure. If I couldn't do it in a live stream. Fuck, I can spend 2 hours talking about one subject. I mean, I can go down a crazy ass life story. Trust me, there's things I can't even talk about on here, and I'm sure you guys know that just by the way I talk. So I don't have to say it, but obviously, but for even the things I can talk about, I could go on for months, stories on shit. Even if I broke down my life story, it would definitely be a 2 hour video. And that's if I summed it up in 2 hours, if I could, and then it would still be gapped. Hugs, not drugs. People who can make it out don't often don't want to talk about it, often like me for professional reasons. Yes, I mean, absolutely. That's the way it usually is. Um, you know, the way I looked at it was when I got into this channel, I knew I was going to have to be open about it, especially like with some of my criminal record and shit like that. It's public record. I don't need it, like I'm not gonna say being used against me, but I might as well just be open about it, right? I'm past it, it's my past, and I don't need to hide it. If I was hiding it, then that's when people should worry. So I'm just straight up about it because also, and I mean no disrespect when I say this to anybody, but I'm not like a lot of people, and I know that. Like I know I'm not like a lot of, and some people I am, right? Some people are a lot more similar to me than you'd think probably. But I know like the way I grew up and the things I've done and blah blah. It might not be very similar to some people. So I can only relate with what I can relate with. I can only it's it's just kind of a part of me. So that's what I'm going to talk about. That's what, like, not saying like that's the only thing, but what I mean is that to get an understanding, right? Like to get an understanding of why somebody thinks or acts the way they do or talks about the things they do. Like, it's it's hard to do it without kind of understanding them, I guess, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense, but some people might not be able to relate. I can relate with just about anything because I've done so much. I've lived so many different lives and, you know, uh, been in so many different places. Hell, by the time I was 18, I had moved 26 times or something like that, 24, 26 times. 1 minute says, should write a book. I'd probably just say it and then somebody else could write it. It is. I thought about that one time though, but it is shitty. That the judgment you can get professionally is shitty. Absolutely, but you know what though? Don't let that fucking stop you. And I'm saying that from a good place. I'm saying that don't let the fear of somebody's judgment make you hide behind something that you shouldn't. All right. A lot of people hide behind the fears of the things they don't want to admit for people to know about them. But you know what? If you don't care, then there's not much they can do about it. It's like there's no way nobody can hold this over my head. I hold it over my head. Nobody else can hold it over my head. They don't get that right. So, if I'm open about it and I'm outspoken about it, there's not much you can use against me. All right. So it takes me to hide it for somebody to use it against me. I am open about it and professional. So many struggles, and I did for years. Functioning addict, the struggle is real, and recovery is a day at a time. If my story gives someone hope. Number one win. That's awesome, John. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate you even saying that. It takes balls to admit things sometimes, you know? I mean, to be honest, the drug thing is like that's the least thing that I worry about admitting. Like because like it was way more of a lifestyle than that. That's kind of the easy part, you know? Yeah, it's I mean some of the criminal behaviors is the things you can't admit or the things you did, you know, just period, you know. Uh also had to get to the point where I was self-employed to be able to open about up about stuff. Yeah, that helps. That helps. You know, if you don't have somebody to answer to, then it does help. Not everybody will understand or get it, but they don't have to. They can people can empathize with things that they've never experienced. Anybody in here, doesn't matter if you experienced it or not, you can empathize with it, right? Everybody understands struggle to an extent. Like if I talk about you know, getting jumped, right? If I talk about getting jumped and getting my ass beat, you know, which I could tell a story about right now. I've been jumped so many damn times. I was jumped as a kid just growing up walking down the street. But you might not have ever been jumped before, right? You might not have ever been shot at or anything like that, but you can empathize with it. You can understand the fear of getting shot at. You can understand the fear of getting kicked in the face. Just like you know, you might have family members that have been through issues and watch them hurt the people around them and go down a dark path, and you can empathize with them. You know that you love that person, you don't want to see nothing happen to them, and you see everything around them fucking just getting cloudy. And probably have had other addictions. Probably a lot can relate, at least more than you would guess. Absolutely, absolutely. It's very true, you know. And there's times when people come to me, you know, after shows and, you know, they can totally relate. A lot more people than you think. And that's why it's like, to an extent, it's like, why hide it? You know, it's like it only makes it to where people can't understand you, right? If you want to be able to have people understand you, then they gotta have at least a glimpse, right? At least a glimpse of your own reality. So and everybody's reality is different, but you understand, right? You can understand. Just like it's like somebody might not have ever been arrested before, right? But people can understand what it's like. You've watched enough shows and movies, and you know. See, for me, I don't believe in the whole addictive personality thing. I don't think it's a personality, but rather just how your brain works. I, you know, it's hard to say with that because you can get addicted to anything. It's just you just cross the line of doing it. What do they say? 21 days, do something for 21 days in a row, you can be addicted. There's been things I've done 21 days in a row and got addicted to. But then there's things that are more addictive. And like when I was first getting clean, you know, like I said, I even before I ever started doing drugs, I got into the psychology thing, right? Um, excuse me. But after getting off drugs, I had to, you know, step out of myself and understand why, right? Why was I willing to do what I did to myself? And that's questions you can only answer about yourself. But you have to realize that. Why are you willing to do that to yourself? You know, you could say like you don't love yourself enough. You could say you were going through pain. You could say you were depressed. You could say this. Yeah, there's a million fucking excuses why you could have it, right? But it still breaks down to the why. Why were you willing to start doing that to yourself before it ever became an addiction? So there's usually a reason, right? Whether you lost somebody, whether this, that, who knows, right? There's a million reasons why it could be, but you did it, right? And what brought you to that? And usually, if you can answer that, that's usually the first key to why you got addicted because you're usually covering, hiding, or trying to stop a pain or something that's happening. And it's not that you're hiding from it, it's that sometimes it's easier. Sometimes it's you are going through so much pain, you need that relief. There's so many different things. It's kind of like, say, somebody who doesn't sleep, right? Let's say somebody doesn't sleep. All they want to fucking do is sleep, right? So they start taking sleeping medication. Next thing you know, they're addicted to sleeping medication. They start taking it because they couldn't sleep. Right? They're sick of not sleeping. It's painful after a while not sleeping, but they got rid of that pain. That pain subsided, but now they've been taking it for so long. Now they're addicted to it. Now it's part of them. Now it becomes, and like, things aren't usually an issue till they start making the things that you do in life a problem. So like work, family issues, girlfriends, relationship issues, whatever. Like, if they start bleeding into that, that's when it becomes an issue. I got a girl pregnant. Where'd it go? I got a girl pregnant in HS, in history. I don't know. Instantly cut off all my druggy friends forever. And some people can do that. Some people, it's not that easy, right? Like, I did that to get sober, but it wasn't that easy before. I wound up taking advantage of an opportunity that I had to do that before. It wasn't that easy. Everybody that surrounded me was that. Where I lived was that. So it just depends. It depends on your situation, where you're at. But if you wake up in it, it's not easy to say, I'm cutting you off, right? Like, because that's where you live. That's what surrounds you. That's where you wake up. That's where you walk outside. Everywhere you go, it's everywhere. I didn't have to go very far, but that little distance away from it was like a whole nother world. It's brain chemistry, addictive personality. It is a phrase. It's not really about personality, but some of us trade one addiction for another and always have an addiction. And other people never have one. See, I agree and disagree with that. I say, I won't stop. Um, because what the hell? All right, I don't know what's going on. Hang on one second. It won't come off the screen. Anyways, high school. Oh, gotcha. I say that nobody, this is what I was taught, right? This is what I was taught by a psychologist, that nobody quits an addiction. You replace it with another. So you could say, I quit doing drugs and got addicted to healthy eating, right? Or I quit cigarettes and I got addicted to this fucking thing, right? So when I quit this, I'm going to fill that addiction with something else. And that's usually the goal. Like, cold turkey usually leads right back to it. Most, I'm not saying all, not all, not all, not all, but most go back to that addiction because they didn't fill it with a better, more, because there's all kinds of addictions. You can have a healthy addiction, you can have an unhealthy addiction, you can have an addiction that makes you rich. There's all different kinds of addictions. The point is to fill the bad addiction with a better addiction than that one. And if you can narrow that down from a bad addiction to a better addiction, then a better, then a better, then a good, then you can heal yourself and be addicted to, like, right now, the things I'm addicted to are so healthy. Like exercising and healthy eating and healthy mindedness. Like, I'm constantly trying to improve my mind, and whether it's psychology wise, or obviously with the knives thing, like, that's an addiction for me, but to me it's a healthy one. um and I try to exercise my mind in a way that that benefits me, whether it's through talking or understanding things. Like I said, when I got sober, I had to understand that stuff. Like, I had to break it down. There's, at some point, you want to you want to overpower it with knowledge and understanding it so that it doesn't happen again, or so that you can be stronger than it. And it's not even about strength. I don't mean strength like that. I just mean understanding things. Like kind of like, if you understand, like, say, like, why, um say, an abused girl, right? A girl that's getting abused by her boyfriend stays with her boyfriend, right? Like, to understand the psychology in that, why somebody would do that, it, it's important, and it's, I don't know about important, but it's good. So that's the type of psychology I'm talking about. Like, being able to change your mind into being addicted to the good things. So, like, how do you get addicted to working out? How do you get addicted to eating healthy? And learning and understanding that, you can get there. But if you don't understand how to get there, you never will. Right. And that's what I started getting addicted to, was that knowledge and understanding how to operate like that. And now I'm great at it. Like I said, I help people to do it themselves. I help people and it's not even about drugs. It can be from being homeless and how to find shelter, or how to find a job, or how to get better and eat healthier, or it can be from alcohol or abusive relationships, or whatever, lots of different things. A lot of it, it's a lot of it's the same techniques, just presented in different ways. Don't forget your 2 cent addiction. We won't talk about that. Knives are an active addiction for me. I just bought my first small and cozy. Yeah, but I think there's healthy addictions. Like I said, when the addiction interrupts your relationships and the healthy things you do in life, that's when it becomes a bad addiction. A good addiction doesn't do that. A bad addiction does. I think I should be addicted to caffeine, but I'm not. I'm not neither, and I'll talk about it in a second. I have a cup a day, but I never have a headache when I don't have caffeine. I don't crave it either. I don't understand it. Me, caffeine doesn't do anything. I can drink I can drink a whole pot of coffee and take a nap. I've been drinking coffee for so long. I started drinking coffee when I was a little kid. So to me, I just like the flavor. I like, personally, for energy, if you want energy, I like energy, like, not supplements, but vitamins, vitamin B's, vitamin B12, stuff like that. I would say a small and coasty is a good move, though. I would agree. I would agree. You should be very proud of your recent accomplishments. You've come very far. Thank you. Thank you, Mary. Or Marv, sorry. Thank you, Marv. Mr. Marv. I appreciate that, Mr. Marv. Thank you very much. It's definitely been a long way. And sometimes I like, you guys know, I got a crazy humor, and a lot of times, a lot of my stories, it's just what I've lived. I can't invent and make up stories that I don't know. Like, obviously I could if I wanted to lie. But what I mean is that, like, that's where my humor comes from. That's where, I find humor at. So those are the stories I like to talk about. And I think they're funny as hell. And I love talking about the stories. I love telling those stories. Like, I got some crazy ass stories I would love to tell you guys, but I don't even think you guys are fucking ready for them. So uh, Spanky, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. I've lost count on how many times I've quit, been through withdrawal, hell, and relapsed again. Currently stuck right now. That sucks, man. I know what you mean, though. I know exactly what you mean. Fucked up humor is great. I agree. I agree. I love fucked up humor. To me, that's what I can relate to. I can relate to the crazy humor, and I love it. I love that shit. Uh, and I think laughing and finding humor in things is a very healthy. At least for me, it is. Relapse is part of recovery. It's a process, but it's worth it. It can be, absolutely, absolutely. That's why, like I said, it's important to know when you're going to stop. If you guys got to listen to this, like, anybody that's addicted to anything, You don't stop an addiction, you replace it. That's the way to beat it. You don't stop any addiction. No addiction gets stopped. It gets replaced with something else. Like people that quit smoking, what do they usually do? A lot of them gain weight because they wind up making a food addiction. That's like I think 70% of people wind up gaining weight and get a food addiction. That's because their hands, the fingers need to do stuff. Mouth, fingers and mouth, fingers and mouth. So that's usually what winds up happening. Replace it with something healthier than the one you're doing. But make sure you have a goal to another one. Always have steps to the healthy, addiction. If you can't just go right to the healthy addiction, you might be able to. Just depends on what the addiction is. I agree, JJ. Nothing's better than a good laugh. That's why I love coming to these shows and telling funny ass stories because the stories make me laugh. Putting myself back in some of the shit that I've done and seen, it cracks me up. Like some of the things like I can't even like even like some of the things that I've done that to me now I crack up. They weren't funny at the time, but now they're fucking hilarious. I think of shit that others think is disturbing, and it's not even something that I would find funny in real life. I could joke about head getting cut off, but wouldn't want to shit. Right. Exactly. That's the humor, though. That is the humor. And if you can't find humor in life, to me, I'm sad for you because there's sick humor, right? That, like you said, that there's things that you laugh about, but don't want to ever come true. That's the humor. That's the funny part. And I think people you have to find the humor in that to know that it's not real. That sometimes like there's the things that were real and are funny now. Then there's the things you say that are just funny because you know they're not true. That's what makes them funny because you can imagine it kind of like a cartoon. But there are the things that are true that weren't funny at the time, but now that it's past it, you can look back and laugh your ass off at it. But yeah, there's things that I think sometimes people they laugh at that's not funny, like to them even, and they're just trying to cover it up by laughing. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is being past and actually being able to laugh at it. Oh my God, John, that is such a good saying. Being real with yourself sets you free. And I knew, like, when I was really past it, when I did get real with myself, when I could talk about it, when like that it, you're so past it, so much you're past that you're willing to talk about it now. Something that you're ashamed of, you usually don't want to talk about. But when you know you're past it and you know you've overcome it, then you're able to talk about it now and you're able to be real about it because, yeah, you're ashamed of it, but you're also happy that you overcame it. So now you can get over the shame because you got to get over certain things, right? Like the shame. You got to get over that shame. If you don't get over that shame, you're going to hurt the people around you with that shame. It's better to be real about it and overcome that. And that's also part of the psychology that I was talking about, like where you have to acknowledge certain things about yourself, about people around you, even like say the people around you, right? The friends you have around you, the people you surround yourself with. You know, you have to acknowledge why. Why are those your friends? What are they doing for you? Or like how are they benefiting you? Or why is that the thing you are attracted to, or whatever, and figure those things out. Um, and it's only healthy when you think like that and you acknowledge those details. Thanks for talking about this stuff, Jared. It helps me listen to this right now and telling you guys without judgment. No have to knows except my parents. It's so hard feeling like living a double life. Man, I know all about double life, brother. I know what you mean. And it is hard, man. It's tough. Um, it's tough, like having people around you that might know, but you ain't gonna admit it, because you're ashamed. It sucks, man. And it's nice when you do finally get past it and you can make it to past. And there's a saying that there's no such thing as being stagnant, being like stuck, right? If you are not going towards better, then you are going towards worse. You're not staying in one place. That's a myth. Get that out of your fucking brain. There's no such thing as that. Being stagnant is you taking a longer time getting to bad. That's all that is. You're just going slower. That's it. But if you are doing small, tiny details and things in life and behaviors that are going towards good, then you're at least moving in the better direction. So don't think you're ever stagnant. Know that when you think like that, you're going towards bad. It's just slower. So move baby steps towards better. And the next thing you know, you're in a better place. Life is about moving forward. Absolutely. Can't look towards the past. But you can laugh at the past, though. But no, it is definitely, it's for the living, and it is for the, like you said, moving forward. Everything is about moving forward. You can't hang on to the past. You can't live life for the past. You can't, it's for the living and it's for the future, and you got to plan and live for that. Live life to the fullest and enjoy the memories of the past, but live life for the forward, for the future. How's that K390 Pair 2 holding up? Very good. Man, I'll tell you what, I really like that K390. I really like it. The crew wear is really good from Floydian. I love that shit. I love the K390. The Maximet I like too. I really like the Maximet. Um, it might be a little hard. I think I might like K390 a little bit better though, to be honest. Um, M4 is really good. I really like M4. But yeah, I like Steels, period. Play a record now. I don't know if I have a record. What does that mean? What do you mean, like an actual song? 100 likes? What? No way. Let me push this thing. There ain't 100 likes in here, is there? There is 100 likes. Wow. 3 dislikes. It's a good ratio, but there's still 3 people out there that don't like me. It's okay. It's okay. Um, just got here. Are we confessing our sins? Yes. I was an opiate junkie for 13 years. Been clean for 4 now. All I can say is once you realize you have a problem, it's time to ask for help. Well, Oregon, I'm not going to say my story over again, but if you want to hear a snippet of mine, you can rewind back to 8:30 is when I think I started. I think it was like it might have been like 8:24 or something, and I told my heroin addiction and shit like that. But it's just a little snippet of you know me getting clean and stuff. I've told a lot of I guess stories and stuff. I tried to be honest, guys. I try to come up with a story every video because I got so many. I got so many funny ass stories and memories and just things that have happened to me that are just fucking crazy. And I know a lot of people can relate. So to me, it's like, it's a platform. I might as well tell a story that I feel like talking about because I don't get to talk about these stories with people. I don't go around talking war stories with friends no more. Like, not like I used to. I don't hang out with my old friends, right? So since I got clean, like I'm not around. I mean, I have family and stuff that I hang out with every once in a while, but not really. Mostly I just work and do my channel. So I don't get the chance to do that. So I like doing it with you guys, telling old war stories and stuff. That's about an hour into the live when you correct for the time. I said I was going to do it an hour in, and I messed up. I was about an hour and 20 or something. is when I think I started telling the story. Because 7:30, 8:30. Oh, was it? No, you're right. You're right. I don't remember. I think it was 9 o'clock, maybe. I don't fucking remember. Damn it. 8:45 to be exact. Thank you, Monster. Thank you. It was 8:45. So if you want to hear it, go back to 8:45. I've been off methadone for almost a year. Good for you, man. Good for you. That's awesome. Hard shit to get off of. Definitely hard shit to get off of. Suboxone is too, but you can taper. You know, you want to taper. I'm surprised barely anyone has reviewed the Spyderco CBN plate yet. Only a couple vids on it. The Spyderco CBN plate. What is that? CBN. Do you mean like a diamond plate, like a diamond stone? Yeah, I haven't seen Spyderco's. I've done their ceramic, but no, I haven't. I haven't done their CBN. It's interesting though. I didn't even know they had one, to be honest. Yeah, I didn't even know Spyderco made one. Okay, cubic boron nitride plate. Yeah, I haven't seen it. I didn't even know they started doing those. Huh. I'm gonna have to check them out. It's definitely something I'd be interested in. What time is it? 9:46. We are definitely past that time. I love you guys. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Um, See you guys on Wednesday. Thank you guys for the donations. I got a thing ready for the patrons. I got a video requested. I already finished it. I'm uploading it tomorrow morning, and I got some skits coming. It's not a skit, it was a requested video, but I do have some skits coming, some funny ass ones. And if you guys didn't hear what I said about Medford in that skits thing that he wants done, he's gonna fly the winner down to his location to work at his shop for the week. Hey, thank you, JJ. Awesome chat tonight. I'm glad I dropped in, but I'm going to watch the Benavides Elise fight. Peace out. Peace out, brother. Thank you, man. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. And I love all you guys. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Don't worry, I'll have some funny ass war stories for Wednesday. I promise you. Maybe we'll start doing it like that after like 1 hour. We'll tell a couple stories, and at the beginning, we'll just talk knives. I don't know. I always just kind of roll with the punches. I love you guys. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thank you, Chris Wolf, Fiend, Seems Logical, all you guys, Oregon, everybody in here. I thank you guys for hanging out with me and listening to the story. Chris, Todd, Breeze, Monster, Spanky, Knife Modders, Fish, or I'm just reading. Monster, I think I already said that. Thank you, everybody. D-Tom EDC. I didn't even see you're in here. Oh, yeah, that was, yeah, the methanol. Okay, yeah, now I remember. Yeah, thank you guys. You guys are awesome. I love you guys. Peace out.